It was 3:17 a.m. when Margaret jolted awake, gasping. Her legs felt like they were on fire, seized tight by that all-too-familiar pain. A cramp, vicious and unrelenting, had taken hold of her right calf. She gritted her teeth, trying not to cry out. Her husband, Harold, snoring softly beside her, didn't stir. She didn't want to wake him. He needed his sleep. But Margaret? She wouldn't be going back to sleep anytime soon. She swung her legs over the side of the bed, toes brushing the cold hardwood floor. That awful tightness gripped her, as if her muscles had turned into thick rope, yanked cruelly from both ends. She pressed her foot down, trying to stretch it out, whispering to herself, "Breathe, Margaret. Just breathe." The pain didn't care. At 73, Margaret thought she had seen it all. Raising 3 kids, losing 1 to cancer, moving homes 5 times, watching Harold recover from heart surgery. But nothing made her feel quite as helpless as these nighttime cramps, sudden, sharp, and completely out of her control. They came without warning, no invitation, no mercy, just pain. And the worst part? She never knew why they came. Was it something she ate? Not enough water? Was she too active that day? Or not active enough? She'd tried sleeping with a pillow under her knees, magnesium supplements, even those strange banana smoothies her neighbor swore by. Sometimes they helped. Most times they didn't. As she sat in the dim light of her bedroom lamp that night, she remembered something her grandmother used to say. When your body whispers, listen before it screams. Well, her legs weren't whispering anymore. They were yelling. She rubbed her calf, wishing there was something, anything she could do to stop the pain faster. Not after 10 minutes. Not after taking a pill and waiting. But now, right now. Because for people like Margaret, sleep was precious. So was peace. And Margaret wasn't alone. Across the country, in cozy living rooms and quiet bedrooms, countless other seniors just like her were dealing with the same nightly torment. Some tried to stretch it out. Others paced the hallway in silence. Many, like Margaret, just bore the pain, tears gathering in their eyes, wishing it would stop. Have you ever had a moment like that? Where you're pulled from your sleep by pain so sudden, so sharp, that it takes your breath away? Where you're standing alone in the middle of the night, legs trembling, searching for relief? If you have, then you know it's more than just a leg cramp. It's a thief. A thief that steals your rest, your comfort, your strength. But what if I told you that help might be closer than you think? What if, instead of reaching for medications or pacing in agony, you could find fast, natural relief right in your own home? Tonight, we're going to take a journey together, not just into the science of leg cramps, but into the wisdom of everyday remedies. Simple, gentle things you can do in under 5 minutes that might just give you back your sleep, your comfort, your peace of mind. Because no one, especially not someone who's given as much to life as you, deserves to suffer alone in the dark. This isn't just about cramps, it's about hope. And tonight, hope is on your side. Leg cramps. Just 2 words. Yet they carry a weight so many seniors know too well. That sudden, squeezing pain that seems to rise from nowhere, grabbing hold of your calf or foot like a vice. It can happen during a peaceful afternoon nap, while sitting too long in a chair, or most cruelly deep in the stillness of night, when your body is begging for rest. For many people over 60, these cramps are more than just a nuisance. They're a nightly fear, a lurking discomfort that steals hours of rest, ruins good days, and leaves muscles aching for hours after the pain has passed. And what's worse, it can feel like no one takes them seriously. It's just a cramp, they say. But you and I both know it's never just a cramp. Let's talk honestly about what's happening here. A leg cramp, often called a Charlie horse, is an involuntary muscle contraction. Your muscles suddenly tighten and refuse to relax. Most commonly, it affects the calf, foot, or thigh, and the pain can last from a few seconds to several minutes. Afterwards, your leg might feel sore, like you've run a marathon you never signed up for. Now, here's something not everyone tells you. As we age, our bodies become more prone to these cramps. Why? There are a few reasons, and none of them are your fault. First, we naturally lose muscle mass as we get older, a process called sarcopenia. With fewer healthy muscle fibers to support movement and recovery, our muscles tire more easily and are more likely to spasm. Second, our circulation changes. The veins in our legs, which once carried blood back to the heart like busy highways, can become sluggish. Poor circulation means your muscles don't get the oxygen they need, especially at night when you're lying down. Oxygen-starved muscles tend to act up and cramp. Third, dehydration becomes a silent partner in crime. Many older adults drink less water throughout the day sometimes without even realizing it. Perhaps it's to avoid too many trips to the bathroom, or because thirst just doesn't feel the same as it used to. But without enough fluids, your muscles are more likely to misfire. They need water just like a plant does to stay relaxed and functioning. There are also medications that contribute. Diuretics, often prescribed for high blood pressure or heart issues, can flush out not just fluids, but vital minerals like potassium, magnesium, and calcium. These minerals are like peacekeepers in your muscles, helping them contract and relax smoothly. When they're in short supply, cramps come knocking. Dr. Lila Thompson, a geriatric specialist in Oregon, puts it simply: aging muscles need care, hydration, and balance. When one piece of the puzzle slips out, whether it's fluid, minerals, or movement, cramps are often the result. And then there's the rhythm of daily life. Many seniors, especially those dealing with arthritis, joint pain, or mobility challenges, find themselves sitting more and moving less. Long periods of inactivity can make muscles stiff and cranky. Then suddenly, when you stretch out or change position, bam! The muscle reacts with a cramp. It can feel deeply unfair, can't it? You spend your whole life working, raising families, contributing to your community. You finally reach a time when rest should be your reward. But instead of peace, you get pain. Instead of long, quiet nights, you get startled awakenings and sore mornings. You may have tried solutions, stretching before bed, changing your diet, even muscle relaxers. And sometimes they help. But just as often, they don't. And you're left wondering, is this just something I have to live with? The answer, thankfully, is no. Because behind every problem, there's usually a cause. And where there's a cause, there's often a cure. Or at the very least, relief. The kind of relief that doesn't come in a pill bottle. The kind that doesn't require waiting for a doctor's appointment. Or memorizing complicated exercises. I'm talking about simple, natural remedies. Gentle, time-tested tricks that can soothe your muscles and give you back those precious hours of sleep. Remedies that can ease the tightness, stop the spasms, and return your body to calm. All in less than 5 minutes. And you won't need to spend a fortune or travel far to find them. In fact, the best answers might already be in your kitchen. We're about to explore 3 of them. Each one backed not just by stories from real seniors, but by a bit of science and common sense, each one crafted with love and thoughtfulness for people just like you. So if you've ever felt helpless in the face of leg cramps, if you've ever wished there were something you could do to make the pain stop faster, stay with me, because you deserve relief, and it's closer than you think. It's hard to imagine that something so ordinary, something many of us enjoy every day, could be quietly making our leg cramps worse. But the truth is, what we drink matters. Especially as we age, our bodies react more strongly to things we used to tolerate just fine. And when it comes to leg cramps, one of the biggest culprits hiding in plain sight is coffee. Now wait before you toss out your morning cup. Let's talk this through. Coffee is more than just a drink. For many of us, it's a ritual. The warm mug in your hands, the gentle steam rising, the comfort of that first sip. It reminds you of early mornings with your spouse, reading the paper together, or afternoons with friends, chatting over cookies and laughter. Coffee is a companion, a tradition. But here's what most folks don't know. Coffee, despite all its charms, is a natural diuretic. That means it encourages your body to get rid of water through more frequent urination. And while that might not sound like a big deal, it has a ripple effect. When your body loses water, it also loses electrolytes like potassium, magnesium, and sodium, essential nutrients your muscles need to stay balanced. When those minerals are low, your muscles don't behave the way they should. They become irritable, prone to spasms. That's when the cramps strike. Take Roy, for example. He's 68, a retired school principal from Iowa. Every morning he'd sit by the window and sip 2 strong cups of black coffee. Nothing fancy, just the way he liked it. But around his mid-60s, he started waking up in the middle of the night with a stabbing pain in his calves. At first, he blamed the cold weather. Then, he thought maybe it was arthritis. But his doctor suggested something surprising. Cut back on the coffee and see what happens. Roy was skeptical. "I've been drinking coffee for 40 years, he told me. It never caused a problem before." Still, he gave it a try. He replaced his second cup with herbal tea, something soothing like chamomile or lemon balm. And he made sure to drink a full glass of water after his first cup. Within a week, the cramps became less frequent. By the second week, they were gone. Now, science supports Roy's experience. A study published in the Journal of Clinical Sleep Medicine found that caffeine, even consumed 6 hours before bedtime, can disrupt sleep and affect nighttime muscle recovery. Another report from the American Journal of Physiology noted that caffeine increases calcium release inside muscle cells, which can lead to overcontraction, exactly the kind of tightness that causes cramps. But don't worry, you don't have to quit coffee entirely. Life is about balance, not deprivation. Here are a few gentle ways to enjoy your coffee without inviting the cramps. First, limit your intake. 1 cup in the morning is usually fine for most people. If you're used to having more, try cutting back slowly, maybe switching your second cup to decaf for a while. Second, hydrate alongside it. For every cup of coffee, drink an equal amount of water. This helps replace the fluid loss and keeps your muscles happy. Third, time your caffeine wisely. Try to have your last cup no later than early afternoon. That gives your body time to rehydrate before bedtime, when cramps are most likely to strike. And if you still crave something warm and comforting, consider herbal teas. Many of them, like ginger, turmeric, or even peppermint, have anti-inflammatory properties. They relax the body, soothe the nerves, and don't strip away the minerals your muscles need. Marjorie, a 72-year-old widow from North Carolina, found her own blend. A homemade tea with chamomile, a dash of honey, and a sprinkle of cinnamon. "It reminds me of something my mother made during the winters when I was a child," she said. "Warm, gentle, and it helps me sleep like a baby." Switching from coffee doesn't mean giving up joy. It just means shifting toward comfort that also cares for your body. So if you've been struggling with leg cramps, and your days still start with a strong cup of joe, take a moment to reflect. Could it be contributing to your pain? Could a simple change help bring you peace? Your body is always speaking to you, not with words, but with sensations, rhythms, and aches. And the good news? It's never too late to listen. Never too late to make a change, especially one as small and powerful as swapping a drink. Remember, this isn't about giving something up. It's about choosing something better. And that's the kind of wisdom that comes with age. There's something undeniably nostalgic about a cold, fizzy drink on a hot afternoon. It reminds many of us of summer's past picnics in the park, backyard barbecues, the laughter of grandchildren racing through sprinklers. For years, a glass of soda was the sweet little reward after a long day, refreshing, familiar, and easy to reach for. But for many seniors, that beloved bottle of soda, especially those sugary, carbonated soft drinks, might be quietly making their nighttime leg cramps worse. Let's take a closer look. Soda, in all its bubbly delight, is usually packed with refined sugar and phosphoric acid. It's also frequently loaded with caffeine, especially in colas. That's a troublesome trio when it comes to muscle health, particularly for aging muscles that are already a bit more sensitive, a bit more fragile. The sugar spike from soda causes your blood sugar levels to rise quickly, then crash. This rapid rise and fall can deplete magnesium, a mineral your muscles rely on to contract and relax smoothly. Without enough magnesium, your muscles are more likely to spasm, leading to those all too familiar cramps. Then there's phosphoric acid. It sounds technical, but in simple terms, it's added to sodas for tang and fizz. Unfortunately, it can interfere with calcium absorption, another key nutrient for muscle health. And as we age, we're already at risk of lower calcium levels due to changes in diet, digestion, and medications. Caffeine, as we've already explored, acts as a diuretic. Combined with sugar and acid, it creates the perfect storm for muscle disruption. The result? Tightness, restlessness, cramps. Now imagine this. Every evening after dinner, George, a retired firefighter in his early 70s, would treat himself to a glass of cola with ice. He'd sit on the porch, watching the sky turn pink with sunset, sipping and thinking about the old days. It was his moment of peace. But like clockwork, around 2 a.m., the cramps would strike. Sharp, twisting pains in his calves and toes. He tried drinking more water. He tried stretching. He even bought new shoes. Nothing helped. His granddaughter, who had just finished a course in nutrition, gently asked, "Papa, have you tried giving up the soda?" He was skeptical, even a bit defensive. "It's just one glass," he said. "That can't be it." But out of love, he agreed to stop just for 2 weeks. He replaced his evening soda with a tall glass of cold coconut water, sometimes adding a slice of lime for flavor. At first, he missed the fizz. But after a few days, something changed. The cramps didn't come. He slept deeper, woke up refreshed. "I didn't believe it," George admitted. "But I haven't touched soda since. His story isn't unique. Studies from the American Journal of Clinical Nutrition have shown that high sugar intake can negatively affect magnesium levels, leading to muscle dysfunction. Another report from the International Journal of Sport Nutrition explained that sugar and caffeine can both contribute to dehydration, especially in older adults whose sense of thirst is already diminished. Still, we understand how comforting soda can be. It's not easy to let go of something that feels like a treat, something you've enjoyed for decades. And that's okay. Change doesn't have to be all or nothing. Here are a few gentle suggestions if you're looking to ease away from soda. First, try cutting back gradually. If you usually have a glass every night, try switching to every other night. Then reduce again after a week. Second, explore sparkling water with natural flavors. You can find varieties with lemon, raspberry, or even cucumber offering that bubbly sensation without the sugar, acid, or caffeine. Third, infused water can be your new best friend. Fill a pitcher with cold water, toss in slices of orange, mint leaves, or a few berries, and let it sit in the fridge. It's beautiful, refreshing, and surprisingly satisfying. And finally, if it's the habit you love more than the drink, replace it with something else meaningful. Light a candle, put on soft music, call a friend. Sometimes what we're really craving isn't sugar. It's a moment of sweetness. Margaret, whom you met earlier, tried this too. She used to drink root beer in the evenings, ever since she and Harold fell in love at a soda shop in 1959. After realizing it might be affecting her cramps, she replaced it with a glass of warm almond milk sprinkled with cinnamon. "It still feels like love," she told me, "just a little gentler now. We don't have to give up the memories, just the part that's hurting us." If you're struggling with leg cramps, and soda is still a part of your daily routine, consider this your gentle nudge. Your muscles are speaking. They're asking for kindness, not chemicals, for nourishment, not sugar crashes, and you deserve comfort. You deserve nights without pain. You deserve mornings where you wake up ready to live. Every small change adds up. And this one might just bring the peace you've been longing for. Now that we've talked about what not to drink, let's turn our hearts toward something hopeful, something healing, a simple, natural remedy that has helped countless people, young and old, soothe their aching muscles and calm those stubborn nighttime cramps. It's not a secret potion or an expensive supplement. In fact, it might be sitting in your kitchen right now, waiting quietly on the shelf. I'm talking about pickle juice. Yes, really. That bright greenish-yellow liquid left behind in a jar of pickles, often poured down the drain, without a second thought, may just be one of the fastest-working, most unexpected remedies for leg cramps we've ever discovered. Let me share a story with you. Eleanor, 76, from Michigan, was at her wits' end. She'd tried everything: magnesium pills, stretching routines, new shoes, even acupuncture. But the cramps still came, sharp and angry, almost every night. Her granddaughter, who played high school volleyball, told her something strange. "Coach makes us drink pickle juice when we get cramps during a game. Works in like a minute." Eleanor laughed at first. "Pickle juice? You mean the sour stuff I used to put on sandwiches?" But one night, when the pain returned and nothing else helped, she got up, shuffled to the fridge, and poured herself a small shot glass of that leftover pickle brine. She held her breath, drank it down, and waited. Less than 2 minutes later, the cramp eased. Her leg relaxed. The pain melted away. She cried not because of the sour taste, but because of the relief. Real, fast, and unexpected. The amazing part? There's actually science behind this. Researchers at Brigham Young University and North Dakota State University found that pickle juice can relieve muscle cramps in just 35 to 85 seconds. That's faster than water, electrolytes, or even stretching. Why? Because it doesn't just hydrate, it triggers a reflex in the mouth that tells your nervous system to stop the cramp. Dr. Kevin C. Miller, an exercise science expert who has studied this topic for years, explains it this way. Pickle juice seems to activate a neurological response in the mouth and throat that stops the misfiring nerves causing the cramp. It's not just about fluids or salt, it's about how your body's wiring responds to strong taste signals. And seniors, with their often slower digestive systems and more sensitive muscles, can benefit even more from this rapid, reflex-based remedy. Now, I know what you might be thinking. I don't even like pickles. That's okay. You don't have to eat them, just a small sip of the juice can do the trick. And for those concerned about sodium, here's the good news. You only need about 1 to 2 ounces. That's less than a shot glass. And it's not something you drink every day, only when the cramp strikes. Still not sure? Let's walk through how you can try it gently and safely. Step 1. Keep a small jar of dill pickles in your fridge. Look for the kind that says natural or no added sugar. The juice should be tart and salty, but not filled with artificial additives. Step 2. When a cramp begins, or even just before bedtime, if you're prone to nightly cramps, take a small sip, about 2 tablespoons. No need to gulp it down fast. Just a slow, steady swallow. Step 3. Sit quietly. Breathe. Let the tangy flavor linger on your tongue. Most people feel relief in under 2 minutes. It's not magic, it's your body's nervous system responding to a strong, sharp signal. And if you absolutely can't stand pickle juice, try a spoonful of apple cider vinegar in a glass of water with a bit of honey. It works in a similar way, stimulating receptors in your mouth that communicate with your spinal cord and help muscles relax. Now here's the beautiful part. Every time you take that small sip of pickle juice, you're not just easing your pain, you're reclaiming control. You're saying to your body, I hear you, I'm listening, and I've got your back. For many seniors, that feeling is even more powerful than the remedy itself. Take Dennis, a 79-year-old former truck driver from Nebraska. His legs had cramped up so badly that he'd stopped walking to the mailbox. I felt like my body was turning against me, he said. But when I found out something as simple as pickle juice could help, it gave me hope again. He now keeps a tiny bottle of brine in his nightstand. It's like my secret weapon, he says with a grin, and every time I use it, I feel like I've got the upper hand. That's what this is really about. Not just stopping the cramps, but restoring your confidence, helping you sleep peacefully, letting you walk freely, letting you live fully. We've spent years hearing what's wrong with our bodies. This time, let's celebrate what's right, how beautifully our bodies respond to small acts of care. How something so simple, so natural, can make such a difference. So the next time a cramp grabs hold in the quiet of the night, don't panic. Don't suffer. Just remember this. Relief might be just a sip away. Your journey toward comfort doesn't have to be complicated. Sometimes, the answer really is as easy as opening the fridge, because healing doesn't always wear a lab coat. Sometimes it wears a pickle label. In the quiet hours of early morning, after the world has gone still and the stars begin to fade, there's a particular kind of peace that only comes with age. It's not just the absence of noise, it's the presence of understanding, of lived-in wisdom, of knowing, deep in your bones, what really matters. You've lived through so much. Joys that lit up your soul, losses that broke your heart, lessons that carved themselves into your days and nights. And through it all, you kept going. So when something as small as a leg cramp robs you of sleep, steals your strength, or shakes your sense of peace, it's not just a nuisance. It's a reminder of how much you've already carried, and how much you still deserve to feel good in your body. Safe, comfortable, free. That's why this conversation matters. Because sometimes the things that trouble us in the dark are more than just muscle spasms. They are echoes of everything we've endured, moments where our body says, "I'm tired, help me." And when we listen, really listen with kindness and curiosity instead of frustration, we begin to heal more than just the cramp. We begin to heal the relationship with our bodies. Too many seniors have been taught to accept discomfort as a part of aging, to believe that pain is normal, that suffering is a given, that once you reach a certain age, your best days of feeling good are behind you. But I'm here to tell you that's not true. Your body may be older, yes, it may move slower, it may need more care, more rest, more tenderness, but it is still yours, still worthy of love, still capable of comfort and healing. You are not broken. You are simply changing. And every sip of water, every gentle stretch, every mindful choice like swapping a soda for tea or sipping pickle juice instead of suffering is a declaration, I still matter. My comfort still matters. My sleep, my movement, my peace, they matter. I want you to remember Eleanor, with her midnight pickle juice, or Roy, who gave up that second cup of coffee and found his nights again, or George, sitting on his porch, choosing coconut water instead of cola. They didn't need a doctor's prescription to take that first step. They just needed a little hope, a little courage, and a little reminder that small changes can bring big relief. And maybe tonight, you're ready to try one of these steps too. Maybe you'll put a jar of pickles in your fridge, or switch to herbal tea in the afternoon, or try flavored water instead of soda. Maybe it won't be perfect. Maybe you'll forget some days. That's okay. What matters is the trying, the intention, the care. Because healing isn't about doing everything right. It's about doing something one gentle, loving thing at a time. So if this message touched your heart today, if you saw yourself in these stories, if you've ever stood barefoot in the dark, gripping your leg in pain, whispering, "Please make it stop," then I hope this video gave you a little more than information. I hope it gave you comfort. And if it did, would you do something for me? Click the like button below. Not for me, but for every senior out there who needs to see this message too. Hit subscribe so you'll never miss another moment of comfort, care, and connection like this one. We're building a community here, a family of wisdom, warmth, and wellness, and you belong here. And if you feel up to it, leave a comment below. Share your story. Tell us your favorite remedy. Or just say hello. You never know who you might help by sharing what you've learned on your journey. Your voice matters. Your experience matters. You're still a teacher, a storyteller, a healer in your own way. And this world still needs your light. So here's to calmer nights, to stronger legs, to kinder mornings. Here's to you. Thank you for watching.